Hello, good people. I am Crystal Keys, and welcome to Workplace Keys to Success, a channel that brings you an unfiltered, no-nonsense approach to surviving workplace bullying. Too much chocolate can make you sick. Too much of anything can make you sick. The narcissistic person included. Let's talk about from chocolate cake to the narcissistic discard. Well, before we proceed, I want to remind you to subscribe and like and share your experiences below kindly. Share your successful strategies. Let's help others overcome workplace bullying. Do you like chocolate cake? Like my daughter used to say, Mommy, I love chocolate. Well, I love chocolate cake. And similar to the feelings and the ignited senses from chocolate cake just calling your name, the narcissist at first appears to be irresistible. However, like chocolate cake, you will presumably wind up with an upset stomach. When you enjoy the relationship of a narcissist, and this includes work relationships too, there is such a thing called the chocolate cake model of narcissism. In the words of researchers Keith Campbell and Joshua Miller, the first bite of chocolate cake is usually rich in flavor and texture and extremely gratifying. After a while, however, the richness of the flavor makes one feel incredibly nauseous. Being led by a narcissistic person can feel like the experience. The narcissist might initially be perceived as an effective leader, but this positive perception may decrease over time. Simply put, the narcissist seems to be a charming person with strong leadership skills at first. Over some time, the narcissist cannot keep up this pretense, and you'll see a spiraling downhill drastic change of negativity, misconduct, and more. Over time, narcissists are seen as they are. If we, and those around the narcissist, are not the enablers, then we see their leadership skills lacking as they are, and they become increasingly unpopular. Narcissistic leaders do not understand loyalty. Participants aiding the narcissistic leader in abusive actions further enable them, applaud them, and support the bullying, which is emotionally immature, and it is a risk not only to themselves but to others. The enablers' characteristics are notwithstanding, and their moral compass will eventually decrease as a function of the group participation. And just when you thought you had enough of the chocolate cake, then you experience the narcissistic discard. As I like to say, the narc discard. What is the narcissistic discard? When you are no longer useful to the narc and don't feed into their ego, you are no longer of value to them. What happens in between the chocolate cake and the discard is typically the demeaning phase. In the workplace setting, this includes humiliation in front of others, taking you off the pedestal and putting up the next lackey, or blatantly ignoring you or giving you the silent treatment. Yes, even in the workplace. The demeaning phase leads to the narc discard. I believe the purpose of the narcissistic discard, and please let me know if you have research that shows otherwise. I'm open to hearing other perspectives. But I believe the narc discard is intended to hurt and traumatize the target, ensuring they never have the closure of a situation, of the relationship, etc. Just to top it off, the narc will spread rumors about the target and just to show they still have the control and power over the target. Even though the narc may discard the target, the narc feels they have the right to float in and out of the situation, of the relationship, as they please. Meaning, the narc may ignore you one day, and the next, they'll act as though nothing happened. It is important to know the steps and the approach that leads to the narc discard, especially within the workplace. This is dependent upon how the narc leader sees the target. If the narc leader sees an individual as beneficial, then they will include the target in most of their conversations. They'll put most of their trust in the target. They never really trust anyone fully. They will speak positively about the target to any and everybody. They'll complain about others all the time to the target, even individuals within the same team. They will make the target their ally and try to make them their spy. They'll demand the target's availability and attention at all times. They will give fair and visible work assignments to the target. Now, if the narc leader sees an individual as a worthless target, now this is in their eyes, they will ignore the target. They will complain about the target to others. They will complain about others to the target. They will question the target's role and their position. They will belittle the target. They will criticize the target whenever they make a mistake, no matter how minute. They will demand admiration, and they will downplay and undermine the target. Now, if the narc leader sees an individual as an innocent target, they will give little attention to the target, sometimes even ignoring them from day to day. They will still manipulate the target. They will still demand admiration, and they will still complain about the target to others. Now, if the narc leader sees an individual as a threatening target, they will obsess over the target. They will criticize the target nonstop. They will ridicule the target. They will take credit for the target's success and achievements. They will mock the target. They will disagree with the target on everything. They will manipulate to control the target. They will give tasks below the target's pay grade, just mundane tasks. They will set the wolf pack against the target. They will reprimand or even try to fire the target. They will gossip about the target. Narcissism is connected to workplace bullying. If you are experiencing workplace bullying as the bystander or the target, I provide measures to mitigate and eliminate workplace bullying. I'll leave the link to the previous episode, Workplace Bullying and COVID-19. This is where I walk through the steps at a high level. Now, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be breaking down all 10 steps, so you'll want to stay tuned. But I also want to remind you of the upcoming collaborative podcast with a licensed professional counselor, Fran Petrell. Our specific focus of this upcoming podcast include gaining further understanding and knowledge of workplace bullying and narcissistic leaders. Mark your calendars. Share the link if you know someone that is a target or a bystander of workplace bullying. Please join us. You do not want to miss this live YouTube podcast. November the 14th, 2020 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's stay connected. We can do that by you subscribing. Subscribing will allow for the provision of notifications of new content on a weekly basis. Well, thank you for tuning in and have a great work week.